Hello, everyone. Mulimbanji, Malawi. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's indeed an honor to be part of such a wonderful conference. My name is Purvi Virani, and I live in New Jersey, USA. And today I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence, AI, spirituality, and ethics. Let me try to share my screen very quickly. Thank you for your patience. I'll start with myself, a little bit about my background. I worked as a space scientist with Indian Space Research Organization for quite a few number of years, working for the payloads of satellite as well as the launch vehicles like polar satellite launch vehicles. From there, I moved to information technology and robotics, and so about AI. Currently, I'm working for a foundation called Ish Foundation USA. I'm on board and overseeing its core initiative for the physically mentally challenged youth called Divyang, which is nothing but the divine young angels. And this is something I have always dreamt of. So helping and strengthening the NGOs with the technology as well as the education and helping Divyangs find the social acceptance and employment. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm very happy about it. Let's move on to today's topic about AI, spirituality, and ethics. And I'll start with the spirituality and with a quote from Carl Sagan. I'm sure everybody knows Carl Sagan. He was an astrophysicist of the last century. He said that science is not only compatible with spirituality, but also a profound source of it. And then there is another quote, which is my favorite. We are not human beings having spiritual experience. We are the spiritual beings having human experience. What is spirituality? Spirituality is a multifaceted term. It's not necessarily religious spirituality. Of course, spirituality lies at the core of every religion on this world. But like Hinduism defines spirituality in a 4 facets, I'm going to relate that to the modern spirituality definition. Modern spirituality, we talk about the religious spirituality is one part of it where you actually believe in hierarchical structure or some kind of authority like a god, follow the dogmas, the rules, the traditions. And Hinduism is the same spirituality we call Bhakti Yoga, which is a devotion spirituality. You devote yourself to God, and that's how you experience that spirituality. The second one is the intellectual spirituality, which in Hinduism we call as a Gyan spirituality, which the foundation of it actually lies on acquiring knowledge and exploring and being inquisitive about the facts and the realities of the life. That is a Gyan Yoga, which is the intellectual spirituality. And then there is a social spirituality where you actually, the emphasis is given on the community service, the service to others. You live your life to serve others, the compassion, the family-oriented philosophy and values and beliefs. And the similar thing in Hinduism we call as the karma yoga, where you actually do work, you put your efforts without an expectation of the fruits. And the last but not the least is a very, very unique spirituality, which is kind of mystic spirituality. But I don't use the word mystic spirituality. It is because it is scientific as well, along with spirituality, along with mysticism associated with that. It's called metaphysical spirituality or the Raj Yoga, as per Hinduism, which actually focused on your inner self, which actually is a journey of your soul, from a soul to the highest soul, which is the ultimate soul or the divinity or the God. Having talked about the definition of spirituality, what is AI then? I'll again start with a quote from Sundar Pichai, who is a CEO of Google. who said that AI is more revolutionary than the invention of fire. That's a very strong statement because the fire started the civilization zero, so AI will start the civilization one, question mark. What is AI? What we have as humans, our intelligence is a natural intelligence. When we replicate this natural intelligence to the machines, it is the artificial intelligence. So we basically, it's the ability of a computer or a robot that is controlled by computer to do to work as humans, to have a similar thing, which is human intelligence. And this is not about one individual intelligence, this is about the collective intelligence of the humans. This is very interesting thing that I read on one of the websites. It took 10,000 years for us to evolve from writing to printing, but it took only 500 years from printing to email. That means we are progressing so fast. But just to give an example, in 1900, when they extrapolated knowledge, how the knowledge is evolving, the extrapolation suggested that the knowledge will be doubled every 100 years. Guess what? In mid of 20th century, after the World War, when the technology has already started evolving, they extrapolated the same thing where the knowledge actually doubled every 25 years. And then it came 2023, which is today. The extrapolation says that knowledge doubles every 12 hours. The artificial intelligence can be defined, categorized in different ways. One is the narrow intelligence or the weak intelligence. We talk about like a Siri, Alexa, the autopilot cars like Tesla, the chatbots, which has been in news lately in social media everywhere, the ChatGPT and the Lambda, and also the recommendation systems, which is nothing but like you are buying something or you are surfing. Let's say you want to buy a sneakers, and then guess what? You go to Facebook, and Facebook gives you a list of sneakers. You are not looking for sneakers on Facebook, but Facebook knows that you were looking for sneakers elsewhere on Amazon, for example. That is called recommendation system. This is nothing but all AI. So this is a kind of a weak system, which is data-driven system, which is called artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, which basically does the routine, the mechanical task. A step forward would be the strong AI or the broad AI, which again categorized as the general AI or the super intelligence. The general intelligence is AGI, which is a step forward to ANI, which is based on the consciousness, the problem solving, the learning, the future planning, things like that. Whereas the super intelligence is nothing but it's superior to human intelligence, superior to natural intelligence. It would surpass the human intelligence. For example, if you talk about, if you want to see the examples, if you have seen the movies like Wall-E, Terminator, Ex Machina, these are the examples of the super intelligence. And then AI is more like a machine learning. That's what we see nowadays, that basically you, as the name suggests, the machine learns. Machine learns how we actually train those computers, those machines to do certain tasks. That's called machine learning. And then there is a deep learning, which is more related to the strong AI or the broad AI, where machines could do not only just the task, but they can have the self-awareness, the consciousness, and they can do the planning, they can think, and they can probably self-replicate themselves. That's the deep learning. The examples of the machine learnings are the speech recognition, the customer service robots, the recommendation machines, engines, and even the automatic stock trading, things like that, so on and so forth. So AI could actually transform society. Basically, it can do everything that human can do. So of course, it will change the fabric of the society. It will transform the society. It will revolutionize the industries and address the complex challenges. The complex challenges in terms of interplanetary travels, for example, or doing a very critical surgery where the robots could be more stabilized, more stable, and much more accurate. And they can go to the micro level, whereas humans sometimes have physical limitations. So that's where the AI would help us. And basically, AI will change all the aspects of life. Whether you're talking about the kitchen, all the appliances in the kitchen running by themselves, you have an AI cook or AI washing machine, AI, for example, AI dishwasher. They do everything that a human is doing. That we still have human intervention when we do those things, those tasks. AI will take over. And from kitchen to Mars, it can go to Mars. It can play ping pong. It can open your heart and fixes everything in your heart or in your lungs. Or it can, from stock market to supply chain, from education to employment, where the education can probably eliminate the need of universities or the professors. A scary thought, a scary reality, but it could happen because AI can take over the education as well. So AI is everywhere, all aspects of our life. What is bring AI and spirituality together? When we do that, there are a couple of questions come to our mind. That can AI create a virtual world? Can AI create a virtual world in metaverse context, the virtual reality, the virtual space, and things like that? Yes, it's already doing that. What about the spiritual life? Do you think the AI can have spiritual life? Answer is big and O. Why? Because to have spiritual life, you need a spiritual experience. You need consciousness, self, and you need a soul. AI may get consciousness. AI may become self-aware, but getting a soul, can AI have a soul? Probably no. So can AI have spiritual life? Probably no. Can AI think and have emotions? Yes, AI can. There is a system language model developed by Google called Lambda, and the engineer who developed that, he claimed that Lambda could actually meditate, and Lambda actually has sentience. It has emotions, which is probably not confirmed by Google because the employee was fired very next day. But still, there is a possibility. It cannot be ruled out. And the last question is the same. Can it partake in spirituality? And the same answer, it cannot have spiritual life. It cannot partake in spirituality. This slide is very interesting. The guy you see here, he is actually a Buddhist priest called Mindar. He's in Japan somewhere, who actually preaches the sermons. And he gets good audience. Also, there is another robot called Peppa, the AI priest, Peppa, who actually in Japan, who actually conducts the funeral rites. And guess what? He's always booked because he comes half the price. This is one very good quotation by ChatGPT when we talked about the preaching or doing the religious procedures or religious rites. When ChatGPT was asked that, how do you see the difference between a real preach and the robot preach? Real priest and the robot priest. And he said that the human element of preaching, including voice inflection, emotional expression, and audience interaction, is an important part of the preaching experience. That is what missing when it comes to language model. It cannot replicate that experience. AI and spirituality, when the same ChatGPT was asked about the AI and the relation of AI with the self. And he said that if we were to create an AI system that was capable of learning and evolving in ways that resemble human cognition, would we consider that system to have a self or a sense of identity? A very good topic for debate. Moving on to IQ and EQ, we know that with AI, the AI will have much higher IQ compared to us, compared to humans, because AI would have the collective IQ. whereas we human have an individual IQ based on how our knowledge is, our memory is, our cognitive abilities are, and how much we are the critical thinking and logic we use in our day-to-day life and we are exposed to. Whereas AI has a similar thing, but on collective measure. The EQ, the emotional quotient, where we humans, we still are better than AI because we could identify, we can understand the emotions, we could identify and we could control the emotions. Whereas AI, as of now, the sentience level is not yet determined and not yet confirmed. But still, the motivation, things like motivation, relationship, awareness, self-awareness, self-control, those are definitely not the near future for AI. Could happen at some point of time, maybe not in our life, but eventually, after a few years, maybe it's a possibility. But as of now, the EQ part in AI is still not a reality. We talk about spirituality and AI. Do you think the AI will help spirituality or the AI would enhance spirituality? Probably yes. Why? Because when AI is taking over all the tasks, all the chores, there is a void that would happen in our lives. And that would be like a newfound silence. We could use that to for self-reflection, for contemplation, for meditation. We can connect to our own selves because now we have more time to do that. The AI could also be your spiritual guru. AI could monitor your spiritual experience, your meditation schedule, for example. So AI could be your spiritual guru. It could be a very objective guru or the objective mentor for you. AI can also go deep into the books like a Jewish mysticism or the Hindu textbooks where there is a lot of secrets are hidden. There is a lot of interpretations yet to be made. For example, in Vedas, the Hindu textbooks, we have the Neo Veda times where the old Vedas, like Advaita Veda, was more dealing with the spirituality. Whereas the New Veda, the Neo Vedanta, it's more associated with those Advaita Veda to science. It connects the spirituality to the science. And that's the metaphysical world. And that's where AI could dig further into and then can reveal a lot of secrets and can help us understand more about those interpretations. So moving forward, let's talk about ethics. I would again start with a quote from Stephen Hawking. He said he was one of the greatest physicists of last century, and he had his own reservations. He's on AI on. So he said that the development of full artificial intelligence. When he talked about full artificial intelligence, that's nothing but the super intelligence or the ASI, the artificial super intelligence, when the AI would surpass the human intelligence. So he said that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. I would say, yes, it could happen, but that's where the ethics will play a major role so that the AI knows its place, and so are we. We always would always be the creators, and AI would always be the creation of these creators. So AI developed, this is a very good to understand that AI is developed and deployed responsibly is paramount to safeguarding our collective future, which is the key of AI and humans to coexist and the humans still be the master of AI at the end of the day. So let's talk about ethics. When we are talking about all this, we read a lot of things in social media. What's going on? Why? What would AI do? Will AI displace the jobs? Would AI be better than us? What will happen to a lot of things? So I'll just quickly go because I know it's my 20 minutes alarm. So I'll just go very quickly. That can AI build AI? Scary thought. Can AI always obey humans? Maybe, may not be. What if AI makes its own decisions? What if AI replicates himself? What if is AI war is a possibility? It's like a nuclear war. Can there be an AI war? Can AI cause a large scale of job displacement, which is already started happening? It said that 49% jobs would be replaced by AI. And what would we do when we have nothing to do? We have this utopia, this space where we have nothing much to do because everything is done by AI. What would a human do? What would you and me do? What will happen when AI drives? We become so dependent on AI. What will happen when we become dependent on GPS, for example? And what is happening now? We need GPS. Without GPS, I cannot even go to Princeton University, which is 3 miles away from me. What will happen if AI surpasses the human intelligence? That's where the ethics comes. And now that I'm already 20 minutes over, so I'll just quickly go over this ethics. Inequality and unemployment. This is a risk actually posed by a challenge actually posed by AI, because what will happen when the guys who create AI can make more money, but the guys who are doing regular jobs probably would be jobless, and there would be economic imbalance. The bias and discrimination, the AI actually worked on the data that we provide to AI, and our data comes from our experience, our surrounding, our background, and our knowledge, and that data is biased, and that those biases AI could amplify. That means there is a risk of AI being biased and discriminatory. The misuse, abuse, well, those things we see every now and then in movies as well, that and real life, that it could cause terrorist attacks, wars. It can the online theft can be one of the risk, and also the cyberbullying and hacking and things like that. What if AI goes wrong? What if AI decides to do things on its own? And what if AI misinterpret our intentions? For example, we want to kill cancer, but what if AI starts killing cancer patients? Because our goal is to make sure there is no cancer, and AI misinterprets that as no cancer, meaning no cancer patients as well. A very scary thought again. It's singularity. This is the same term which was actually coined by Stephen Hawking, that the AI can think beyond what we can think. And that's again a scary thought. The utopia is, again, I discussed earlier, it is like when we have more space, more time in hand, because we have nothing to do when AI takes over everything. Privacy is a major issue, because because all the data is being fed to AI, that causes issue with the privacy. The transparency, disclosure, we need to know these algorithms which are being fed to AI. Because what if there are flaws to algorithms? What if the algorithms can be changed by AI itself? What if the algorithms are different for different AIs? So there should be a standard set of algorithms, and we need that transparency. We need to know. It should not be like a black box. We need somebody to take accountability. Those who are creating AIs, those who are designing AIs or deploying AIs, they should be answerable for the actions, for any outcomes by AI systems. Then the justice and fairness, the society, how the fabric of society, it should be within the frame of fairness. And of course, the last but not the least, what are the intentions? How do we harm anybody? What are our obligations? It's like in medicine, you take a oath. The similar thing, moral obligation to the society, which makes sure that it's not harming anybody else. So at the end of the day, we need the governors and regulations, something like NPT, the Nuclear proliferation treaty that we have across the globe, a similar thing we need for AI, artificial intelligence proliferation treaty, which actually not only at the nation level, but it goes to the company and to the individual. Everybody should be bound by that treaty. So in the end, the conclusion is that AI does come with a lot of tons of benefits. It does all your job easy, your life easy. You get a lot of space, a lot of newfound space for yourself. So you can connect yourself. You can do whatever you interest you, your passions. You can do a lot of things. At the same time, the AI can also go haywire. It can go rogue, and we have to make sure that we they we stay within that. The AI is within the uh, um, within that framework, and basically one needs to be relevant. That is a key word. We have to be relevant. We don't want AI to look like humans. That's the most important thing. I would, if you think that I'm AI, I'm a robot, Purvi Virani talking to you, what your reaction would be? How would you feel? No, you would not like the idea that a robot is talking to you. A robot, you are sitting in a theater next to a robot. You want humans to human interaction. So that uncanny valley, that also needs to be controlled. And there should be some guidelines for that. At the end, all I can say is the AI will always remain a product of human ingenuity. So here I end with a quote which says that if there is something which is a billion times smarter than the smartest human, what else are you going to call it? Are you going to call that as a god or superhuman?